Now, talking about male pattern baldness. Male pattern baldness is a genetic form of hair loss, which is usually experienced by those who may have tendencies of baldness in the family, okay? Now, for a male, what are the signs for you to know in the early stages that you are experiencing early stages of male pattern baldness? The first signs, because there's actually a scale to measure the progression of male pattern baldness. The first signs are thinning in the two sides, the two templar regions of the scalp. You'd notice here and here start to thin out, as well as the crown area. This region here is where we call the crown. So some thinning is experienced there as well. Now, the reason why we're trying to stress the importance of noticing the early signs of male pattern baldness is a lot of people don't detect it early enough, and then they allow it to progress to a point where the early medications might not be suitable to restore the hair. So you need to look out for this. When you look in the mirror, you notice the two sides in front are starting to thin out, as well as the crown region. Then you might be experiencing the early stages of male pattern baldness. Now, what is the FDA recommended combination of treatments for male pattern baldness? It's quite simple. We have Minoxidil, which is a topical application, as well as Finasteride. Finasteride is also called Propecia. Now, Finasteride is a medication which helps to block the DHT that causes the hair loss in the first place. So if you detect it early enough and you start taking Finasteride tablets, 1 a day, 1 milligram a day, you'll be able to suppress the effects of the DHT that is causing the hair loss, thereby preventing it from getting worse. As well as the topical application, which is Minoxidil. Minoxidil is a very useful medication for early stage male pattern baldness. What Minoxidil does is that when applied to areas of thinning hair, it improves the blood supply to that area, as well as nourishment of the hair follicles in that area, thereby enabling them to grow better. So a very high percentage of those who start with these two combination of medications are able to curtail further spread of the male pattern baldness to a point where it might get more advanced.